with that love in your heart, that love in your heart, in your heart. Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I don't know if I'm being foolish, don't know if I'm being wise, but there's something that I must believe in, and it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air, in the whisper of the tree. Love is in the air, in the thunder of the sea. And I don't know if I'm just dreaming, don't know if I feel sane, but there's something that I must believe in, and it's there when I call out your name. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Love is in the air, in the rising of the sun. Love is in the air, when the day is nearly done. And I don't know if you're an illusion, don't know if I'm seeing true, but there's something that I must believe in, and it's there when I reach out to you. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I don't know if I'm being foolish, don't know if I'm being wise, but there's something that I must believe in. It's right there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Love is in the air. 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 Woo-woo.
Please join us for our congregational song, Don't Sit Down. Please, the words will be on the screen, and love is in the air. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest
This is our new gay guy ensemble. Is it gay guy? No, is that? Sunday ensemble. Okay, so we acknowledge these guys are going to be filling in when Gino's off. So thanks, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Universal Spirit Center. I'm Kevin Bucy. I have the great joy and honor of being the spiritual leader of our progressive, inclusive, and thriving spiritual community, and I welcome you here this morning. This is a big Sunday for us. A lot's going on. So there's a full moon energy going on, full moon energy. 1 year ago today, we moved in this place. We had our first gathering, 1 year. So that's pretty cool, as well as Hunter Talman. Would you stand up, Hunter? He joined us today. He is a practitioner of ours that had the nerve to move to Chicago. Moved to Chicago, and he's a practitioner at a Science of Mind Center there. So thanks for being here, Hunter. Also, Chris and Barb, who live in Palm Springs, moved to Palm Springs, have started a little bit of a satellite kind of center for us. There's a group of women, I think all women, who meet on Sunday mornings and watch us on Sunday morning and then discuss that. So would that group please stand? Let's welcome that group. So there's 9 of them, and you ladies came today on a field trip to come, and so that's great. Also, let's see, what else do I want to mention? What else should I mention? Men's retreat's coming up. So if you're male or male identified, we're having a retreat March 13th, 14th, and 15th. Dana, would you stand? Dana is going to, maybe he's not in the room. See Lee. So a men's retreat, if you're interested in that. Also in June, I'm leading a week-long silent retreat at a monastery. I do that every year. So if you're interested in that, it's Monday through Friday. See me afterwards, and I'll hook you up with that. Also, today is the first day in February, so it's the first Sunday in February. So everyone who was born in February, please stand. Let's acknowledge Bob. Who else? Breezy Chris. So we have chocolate cake afterwards. We have chocolate cake, so make sure you get a piece. And we have our potluck afterwards, so please stay. And if you're new with us today, I see a few new faces. Welcome. I'm glad you're with us. If you are new, I'd love to meet you afterwards. And there's a potluck, so you get a free lunch. Also, February 10th, a week from this Tuesday, I'm going to be facilitating a group for us to support each other, to share our feelings about the turmoil that's going on in our nation today. So it will be 6:30 a week from this Tuesday in this space. It's a chance for us to just come, support each other, share our feelings, and have that experience. Okay, I think that, one more thing, and then I'll be quiet for now. So just to let you know, before our gathering on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., we have a meditation. So you're welcome to come to our meditation. It's about 15 minutes long. And then today we'll have a healing prayer circle led by Margot. Margot, would you stand? And it will be right after our gathering. So if you're going to do the potluck after that prayer circle. All right, that's it for me. And now Stephanie. Come on down, Stephanie. Good morning.
And Gino. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Stephanie Reed.
I'm Gino Walker.
And we are doing a double duo day of money, money, money. It's a rich woman's world, right? Yeah. All right. So this Wednesday, Rise Up in the Morning. That's our women's group. We meet at 10 o'clock at Lorraine Iverson's house. If you want to come, see me if you're not already part of us. And in the evening,
We will have our Wednesday night gathering, and we will have part of this lovely divine rise up energy at the nighttime. So, what kind of relationship do you have with your money? You want to know? You want to find out? You better come and see us on Wednesday at 6:30 right here.
so when we live in an unconscious place about that green stuff that goes in and out of our wallets, all kinds of badness happens. So we want to create a conscious relationship with money. So Wednesday night, next week, we are doing the consciousness this week. in like 3 days, the 4th. The consciousness of money. So join us. It's going to be a double duo, and you know this woman is the master of abundance. So come on down.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mosai. So, guess what today is? Potluck Sunday. So we need helpers to help us clean up afterwards. But who brought a friend today? Those friends, stand up. Stand up. Come on, friend. I brought a friend. Where is he? Welcome. Welcome. You guys, good food ahead. First Saturday with Angels, I finally got it right this week, will be this Saturday at 10 a.m. Learn to tune in with different energies with Margot. Margot, stand up, please. Again. And that's here at 10 a.m. Saturday. So we have a new fun opportunity for you guys to volunteer. We're going to do bingo with Bob, kicking off on March 20th. So I really need help setting up. Somebody at the front, handing out the cards and the stamps and all that kind of stuff. So March 20th, save the date. And then we have a lost and found. If you've lost your water bottle, we have many of those. See Lee, he'll tell you, show you where that is. So speaking of grapes, what did the green grape say to the purple grape? Quit showing off and breathe.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kathleen Cienfuegos. I'm with Racial Equality Project. And I think our slide is up first. Resource for action. This table is a table of information for you on protesting, ICE, how you can get involved or help, and any other information on things going on in San Diego. Pat will be at the table to answer any questions. This is an incredible resource. I stopped by a few minutes ago, and if you have any questions about what you can do and ways that you can just put your energy towards love and peace in our culture and our planet and our community, then that's a great table for you to stop by. It's right as you're walking out the door. And then our call to action for this time, for these few weeks, is love. Over the next few months, we have months of love, months of love here. We invite you to love what we cannot yet see. History reminds us of this kind of love. It changes the world. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. That's Maya Angelou. So, the heart on the slide is an anchor, a meditation anchor. So you can look at that. And then we also have an embodiment anchor. So we're going to together touch our hearts and just gather the love. We'll do this 3 times. Just gather the love and send it out. So just outstretch your arms and send that love straight from the heart. The heart line runs right through the palms of your hands. Gather the love and send it out. One more time, gather the love and just send it out. And we'll just go straight into our prayer. I'll say a line and you guys repeat. Divine light that binds us all. We come together as one, knowing that in our shared humanity lies the essence of our strength. May we see the beauty in our diversity. Let equality flow like a river, touching every heart and lifting every voice. And so it is.
Awesome, RAP. Our action is love. Love that. Our action is love. For months. So I have what I think is some very exciting news to share with you. But before I do that, I want to talk a little about our leadership structure. At our center, we have a shared leadership structure. We have one of our cores is staff, the other are practitioners, the other the stewardship core that oversee the finances, and then the Wisdom Council. And the Wisdom Council is akin to a board. Even though we're a spiritual organization, it's not really a board, but it's akin to that. And it partners with me in guiding of the center. And so I want to have anyone on any of those cores to stand up, like just to acknowledge you. If you're on staff, stewardship core, Wisdom Council, practitioners. Great. So Lorraine Iverson, who was our Wisdom Council leader, which is an akin to a board president, stepped down about a few months ago. And so I'd like to announce our new Wisdom Council leader. Could we have a drum roll? Our new Wisdom Council leader is Craig Landy. So I've been speaking with Craig for a while now, and it's clear to me that Craig is really committed to a spiritual path. That's what drew him to our center in the first place. He has a really good sense of business and of money, so that would be good in this role. And also, we get along well together. So the Wisdom Council last Monday night voted him on. He was part of the Wisdom Council, so they all interviewed him, and he got voted on. So let's welcome to this role Craig Landy.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for a drum roll at all. Am I supposed to tip you out or something for that, or a drum roll is like, I think of I need to have like a circus act or something, and I did not go to clown school, so I apologize for that. But it also feels like a prize, and this is a prize because this is the best possible prize, because it's an opportunity to go deeper with this community that I love and to make an impact with this community, with you. So thank you. And thank you to the Wisdom Council, to you for your trust. Sure you want to go through with this? That you've put in me. But yeah, so thank you so much. And I am, I know it's cliche to say honored and humbled, but I truly am. I'm humbled especially because it's not lost on me how deeply rooted this community is, this institution of 24 years, and what I'm stepping into is, so this is not lost on me at all. And so I am humbled by that. I'm also humbled by the incredible people who've laid down a foundation for to make this so much easier to step into. So Lorraine, who did this for 9 years, and Annette, who was our treasurer for a long time, and I've been working a little bit with Corrine, like on the budget, and so that's she has the benefit of being a protege of Annette. So much work by dedicated people that will make this easier. Not that it's supposed to be hard, I guess, but last order of business kind of thing. February 15th, we're having our annual meeting. That's in 2 weeks. That'll be right after the Sunday service in 2 weeks, February 15th. So I would encourage you to come to that. Thank you.
All right, Craig, that's awesome. So I invite you all to stand. I invite you to wave behind the camera that's behind me to the hundreds of people that are watching us online. Thanks for being part of our community. Thousands all over the world. And stay standing and welcome each other to Universal Spirit Center. All right. Find your seat. Go ahead and make your way back to your seat. We're going to bring on Reverend Sherry, who is our virtual practitioner this morning, and Sandra's joining me up here. Okay, there we go. So make your way back to your seats. We're going to welcome in Sherry, our practitioner this morning. So Sherry Gannan. So from the East Coast, we welcome Sherry.
Oh, a warm welcome to all, even though I'm in the chilly western part of Massachusetts, 21 degrees. Massachusetts, where my wife and I moved a little over a year ago. So just good to see all your faces and to, through the miracle of technology, remain connected to you all. I wanted to remind everyone that you can receive prayer either on our website, universalspiritcenter.org, written prayer. There's some forms on the table in the gathering space, or with Margot after the gathering. And I also want to mention that in this next moment, we're going to be going within and having a reading from our founder, Ernest Holmes, some music to do contemplation with, and prayer. And before I do, I just want to share with you that this morning I am wearing a special stole which has the faces of the children of the world on it, in honor of all the peoples, not only in the world, but especially in the United States, who are in a time of, well, they're being singled out. So we know and pray for them. And also today's reading talks about us being as infants, as children of God. So let us just take a breath in. If you wish, you can close your eyes or just gaze softly downward. Take in these words as we go into our connected time with the divine. I'm going to be reading the words in English, and Diana Leon Cantor will be reading them in Espanol, in Spanish. And so let us go within. The founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, wrote in This Thing Called You. He wrote, "You are like everyone else, an infant crying in the night, someone with a deep yearning for security, a deep and unspeakable longing for love and for peace. You are already a spiritual being. The divine has created you out of itself.
como todos los demás. Un niño que llora en la noche. Alguien con profundo anhelo de seguridad, un anhelo profundo y indecible de amor y de paz. Ya eres un ser espiritual. La divinidad te ha creado de sí misma. Eso que llamas tú, Ernest Holmes.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Please join us and sing with us. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
Clanging or chaos in the outer world. It is the stillness as the Christ stayed asleep within the disciples' fishing boat as the storm raged. It is the stillness of Muhammad as he meditated in the cave. And then the voice, the messenger of the divine, the angel Gabriel, came to him. It is the stillness of the Buddha as he sat under the tree, contemplating all the divine, all that is, and he became enlightened. And so I know that for each of us that we are as infants, and yet through our consciousness, through our warm hearts, through our gathering together, but also when we are in a solitary mode, that divine flows in and through us always and ripples out into the world, and that peace and that calmness, just as the monks walking for peace are with and showing us how to be in the world with that stillness. So I'm grateful for the shining of that bright light of the innermost divine in each of us. supporting and leaning on each other, supporting each other. So, so grateful for those blessings. And so I know and release these words of power. Truth is power into that universal principle, into that universal law, knowing it is becoming, it is doing, it is acting, it is manifesting right here and right now. And I know this. I know this. Let us know this together.
I can speak with the tongue of men and angels, but if I don't have love, then I'm clinging cymbals. I could have the faith to remove the mountains, but if I don't have love, then I have nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, love is humble all of the time, not easily angered, into the test. So never forget, love is the more excellent way. Of prophecy.
Love is a more excellent way.
But if I don't have love, does it profit me?
Love is a more excellent way.
I can understand all my mysteries.
Love is a more excellent way.
But if I don't have love, can I really see?
Love is a more excellent way.
'Cause love is patient, love is kind, love is humble all of the time, not easily ever during the test. So never forget, love is the more excellent way. I can throw my body into the flames, but if I don't have love, do I have anything? I could give to every person that's poor, but a heart without love is just a heart of stone. 'Cause love is patient, love is kind, and love is humble all of the time, not easily angered, enduring the test. So never forget, love is the more excellent way. Love is patient and love is kind. Love is humble all of the time. It's not easily angered, enduring the test. Never, 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 never forget. Never forget. Love is the more excellent way. Love is the more excellent way.
That's Gina Walker. Let's take a breath on that. Wow. Hey, thank you, Gina, for that. I love that. I call her on Wednesday. Like, do you know this song? I don't know it. Can you learn it? And she learns it. Love it. So a couple weeks ago, I was having lunch with a couple friends, and next to us was an empty table that two women and a couple kids sat at. And you know how you're staring at a group and you convince yourself you're not staring, so it's okay to stare? That's kind of what I was doing. So there was about a 3-4-year-old and then about a 6-year-old, and they arrive at the table. The kids sit down, and this woman comes up to the 3 or 4-year-old, and she looks really angry. And she takes the kid's hand and she slaps it. So something must have happened. The kid must have done something before that, which I didn't see. And immediately the boy starts crying. And I have two thoughts as I observe this. The first is, what she kind of did was whatever anger she was feeling, she just kind of directed it right at the kid. And then the second thing is, she did not slap him hard, so I realized he was just feeling like an internal pain about it, an inner pain. You know, maybe felt like he did something wrong, or she didn't love him, or they were disconnected. And those were the tears, right? So he's crying for about 30 seconds, you know. And then the other lady comes up, and she has a really peaceful look on her face. She comes up and she takes this kid and she hugs him. Doesn't say anything, no words. And in about 30 seconds, he calms down. She puts him back in his chair, and then he's playing with whatever toy. He's fine. So I'm observing this, and I'm thinking, you know, that's life. You know, we have conflict or struggle, or we feel pain, and then we have connection, soothing, peace. That's just kind of life. That's how we move back and forth in life. And the healthy, and I was thinking about this kid, and I was thinking, this is great for the kid, because while he felt agitated, you know, in his inner process, internally, he was able quickly to calm down, and that it was fine, right? So that's great. And I was glad he had a individual, whoever this individual was, in his life for that. That's how we learn to calm down our inner process that gets activated. You know, we get hurt, we get angry, we get reactive, we get maybe feel aggression. Most healthy adults learn how to calm themselves. You know, many of us have had parents that have taught us how to calm ourselves, or we've done the inner work and how to calm ourselves. So that's an important thing. It's called, the psychological term is something like self-regulation. We regulate what's going on inside of us. So some years back, maybe 6 years ago, we got a dog from Tijuana who was horribly abused. I've talked about this dog before, horribly traumatized. And you know, I grew up with dogs. I've had dogs my whole life, and it wasn't in my awareness that dogs could be so traumatized, and he was. He hid in a corner, wouldn't interact, would hide from people, hide from me, hide from my partner. He was really shut down. He was so scared. Everything scared him that it took a lot of work and time to find a connection to him that he could feel safe and peaceful. It took months. It took me a lot of training and awareness how to deal with a dog that was so traumatized. So then I was like, wow, I'm that way too. I have that experience. Sometimes I get really activated, especially like if we go through intense grief. That's an activation in our internal system. And I've had to learn how to calm myself down, not to lead with reaction or anger or revenge but to calm the inner process, to change the inner landscape. So then I was thinking, what about those individuals that haven't had someone in their life to show them how to self-regulate, show them how to calm down, a parent or, an owner of a dog, a partner of a dog, or someone just has not learned how to calm that process down within. Many years ago, I worked in a psychiatric unit, and it was the most, we took care of the ward I was in, the most severely disturbed individuals. So there had been a college student who was my age, who was in college, and had a psychotic break. And he came into the ward, and I was working with him. He had a twin brother whose name was Kevin. So his twin brother couldn't bring himself to come visit him because he was in a full psychotic break. And in his fog of the psychosis, when he learned my name was Kevin, that was somehow familiar for him, so he kind of reached out and he kind of connected to me, even in this confusion or haze of a psychosis. He calmed down. We treated him. He was treatment medication, and he moved through the psychosis. So as he was coming out, it took a couple of weeks for him to come out of it. As he came out, I asked him, "What was it like when you were in this psychosis? What was the feeling?" And he said, "The best way I could describe it is, if someone scares you like that, they jump out of someplace and they scare you, that shock that we have, that adrenaline shock." He says, "It was like that all the time. My internal system," I don't know that but I could not calm down. Every moment was like that. So someone who doesn't have the ability to self-regulate has an internal process of fear, of threat, of something's going to happen to them. A feeling like maybe I'm going to be abandoned. So the internal process of someone who doesn't self-regulate is unstable. It's chaotic. The world for these individuals is unsafe. So the effects of trauma on a nervous system creates a person that desperately needs to be in control. The brain of someone who reacts from trauma is looking for an enemy, someone to blame. A heart that's affected by trauma cannot stand diversity and difference. It seems to me that when a nation has enough people who don't know how to deal with trauma, you get a nation that's unjust, that's cruel, and that seeks to rid the society of diversity. I can't help but think that our nation today is at the effect of traumatized individuals who are producing this type of environment that we're in today. Let's take a breath here. I do not mean to speak politics. I mean to address the immorality that we're experiencing in our nation. A couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago, I was in Mexico City. I took a little vacation there. I missed you guys. I was gone for 2 Sundays. Did miss you. I don't go through a Sunday not being here without thinking about you the whole time. So anyway, so I'm in Mexico City, downtown area, and I'm standing waiting for an Uber. We're going to go to a restaurant. And I'm just standing and waiting for the Uber, and across the way is a fence. And on the fence is the name Renee Nicole Good. And a picture of her. And my friend who speaks Spanish said to me, the Spanish saying was, bring ICE to justice. This is a week after she was murdered. And I was in Mexico City. And I stood there and I looked at that billboard. And I thought, the world is witnessing what's going on in our country right now. The world is witnessing. We are not alone. We have the world community. This type of dynamic that we find ourselves in is why self-love matters. It's self-love that heals the individual, that opens the individual to the experience of divine love. This is why spiritual community in these times matter. That we come together and we support each other through these difficult times. This is why during this time, spiritual practices matter. So that you and I can align ourselves to something greater than the experience of trauma. Something greater than the experience of reaction or revenge or cruelty or violence. That we can align ourselves to that which is greater than trauma, to loving presence, to that which calls us, always calls us, to transform and to heal and to make new. Spiritual practice, connecting with something beyond our own struggle and our own challenges, is imperative to bring our lives and the world to change. So I'm so glad that REP has talked about the action is love. Like many of you, I struggle with what is mine to do. It's to love. It's to love self. It's to love those in my life. It's to love those who I come in contact with. It's not the only thing, but it's the action of love. As enough of us align with the action of love, things will shift and change. You know, this reading, unfortunately, let me get the English version. I'm not so good at Spanish that I could. You know, this English version by Ernest Holmes, it's an interesting thing. I want to read it again. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our philosophy, says, we're like everyone else, an infant crying in the night. We have needs. We're crying out, crying out. We're crying out for a deep yearning for security, for love, and for peace. That's human nature. We cry out for this experience. That's human nature. We feel that tension sometimes. We feel the desire to be loved, to be peaceful. And then he says, but we're already divine. We're already a divine being. So the issue is to open and receive, to open to that which we are, that which is our true nature, divine. So it's an interesting dance or tension. Sometimes we may feel in need of peace or love or calming. And sometimes we realize that's who we are. And that's the journey. That's the journey. To take our humanity and merge it with divinity. That's the call. And I'm sure, like many of you, I am also feeling this call to love. This call to come home to who we are as a way to shift the energy in our lives and our planet. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in. To go ahead and close your eyes. And just breathe right into your heart. And if you would like, place your hands over your heart. Maybe just be aware of any place in your life where you feel some inner disturbance or confusion, maybe chaos, uncertainty, maybe fear. Just let that be present. Simply the experience of being human. So just be present to that little child maybe within you that is crying out. Breathe deeply in. And as you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in light, grace, presence. And direct this presence, this light, this breath into that small inner child. Comfort, bring awareness, bring peace and light and love. Open to that infinite nature within you. And let yourself be bathed in light and a warm embrace and a peaceful, warm presence. And so each one of us here this morning are arriving into our true nature. We're aware of it. We invite it in. We let it soothe ourselves as we hear or experience what's going on in our nation. We let ourselves be soothed and comforted. We allow ourselves to be filled with loving presence. We allow ourselves to be guided. To be guided. So just feel the peace and the love that's moving through you and filling this room right now. We open, we receive, we let go. And I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. And just slowly and gently bring your awareness back to the room. And we welcome back Ms. Gina Walker.
There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. There's only one life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. There's only God's life. That life is perfect. Life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. Life is my life now. There's only one life. Life is perfect. Life is my life now. There's only one life. Life is God's life. Life is perfect. Life is God's life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now.
Thank you, Gino. And before I say anything, I want to start with gratitude. Thank you, Rev Kev. You know, when he called me to share this morning, obviously I went over and over in my head with what to share, and then this morning, you know, listening and practicing with the choir and hearing the songs that were to be sung, and, you know, preparing to speak about giving and contributing. And there is just a moving in my heart from this morning and from this talk that I received something while I was sitting there, being moved to tears in the perspective that was offered from this platform, from Rev Kev, and from Spirit, that we are all connected, that there is only one life. And that's why I come here to this center, to be reminded of the things and the tools and the perspectives, to be different, to have the tools. And that is also the reason why I contribute here. Because I want more of these things. I want more of this community. I want more of these encouraging words and perspectives. You know, I participate in the choir. I'm also in the Foundations, the Revisited class that's going on with Reverend Donna. And there are so many ways that I feel connected and loved and part of the community here that makes me better every time I step out from this place. And this wouldn't exist without the contributions that we give. And there were a lot of other things I was going to share about why I give or how I give. And I think that all that needs to be said is let's create and be part of what's going on here, what we're doing for each other and for this world. The more we give, the more we are connected to the expansion of the light that we all are. We connect with our finances in a natural way. That's also a spiritual way. When we give back to ourselves and the things that we receive here. There is no lack by the things that you reach out and you give and you put in that basket. So if you will, grab your gift and put it over your heart, and I'm going to share an affirmation. Some of you might be familiar with it. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything.
Extending your hands over this offering this morning. And send the power of love to bless this offering, that it goes to enhance the experience of divine love on the planet. Let's know this together. Let's know that this offering this morning goes to enhance the experience of peace for our nation and the world, as we say together, and so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything
Acknowledge the Sunday Gay Ensemble. Gina Walker, our band, production. Let's all stand. Let's all stand and join hands as a symbol of our connection with each other. So we step into an energy, a consciousness, and awareness that we're all connected with all of life, all beings everywhere, in our nation, on our planet. And so let's just imagine that we are all gathered together, joined hands surrounding our planet. And in our mind's eye, we just lift our hands over our beloved planet, and we send peace and love and light, blessing and and filling every being with love. And let's know this together as we say, so.
So as you go out there this week and you get ready to even have potluck, you're going to be shining that beautiful light that is you all over your food. Knowing that this light, this love that we are, it expands out. And when people see you walking around, driving around, they're going to go, hey, where you going? Say, come join me at